This is Mr. Martin. These are video notes for geometry. We're continuing with section 6.2, which is reflections. In the last video, we were looking at reflections over either horizontal or vertical lines, and in this video, we're going to look at lines that are not horizontal or vertical. So I guess I answered the first question here. You could see here we have triangle ABC, and then we have this line that we're going to reflect over. Let's highlight that. This is a diagonal line. This is actually the line y equals x. And if we want to reflect over this, our rule is going to be a little bit different. So how is this line different than the ones we worked with before? It is not horizontal or vertical. Okay? And will each vertex of the triangle move the same distance in the reflection? Actually, it won't. No. The points are different distances from the line. Okay. What I want you to try and do is I want you to pause the video and I want you to try and reflect this triangle over that highlighted yellow line. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and give that a try. I'm not going to give you the answer right away, but I want to see what you can do. Even if it's wrong, go ahead and put it in there. Alright, so now to see if you're right, I want you to get a piece of patty paper, and let's read these directions here. Place your patty paper on top of the graph and trace triangle ABC as well as the line we want to reflect over. Okay, be sure to label which point is A, B, and C. Now, fold the patty paper directly on the line to reflect the triangle. Alright, so you want to take a look at where the triangle landed and write the coordinates of both triangles in the table below, then plot triangle ABC on your graph. Now, if you got A prime, B prime, C prime, if you got it right the first time, you don't have to regraph it, but what I want you to do, if you didn't get it right, I want you to leave the graph that you made the first time and regraph your new graph. Okay, and then just indicate to me which one you know is the correct one. So if you go ahead and pause the video and work on this now, and then when you come back, I'll have filled out A prime, B prime, and C prime so that you can compare with yours. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you were successful in your task and you filled in the coordinates and they match with the ones that I've had. And here for A prime it should be 1, 6. For B prime it should be -2, 5. And for C, this one was on the line, so it doesn't have anywhere to be reflected. It stays where it is. C prime and C are the same spot at 3, 3. All right, so what pattern do you notice in the coordinates of the pre-image and the image? Well, if we take a look, we can see all the x, y values are the same, except they've switched. So the x and y coordinates have switched. Okay, which point is the closest to the line of reflection, B or B prime? All right, and again, if you want to pause the video and give this a go, feel free to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to write the answer here. So they are actually the same distance to the line of reflection. Okay, and this is similar to what we did for reflecting over horizontal and vertical lines as well. The images, or the child, is exactly the same distance from the pre-image or the parent. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look at formalizing our rule here. So this is a reflection across the line y equals x. So when you're doing these problems, you could say it's a reflection across the line y equals x, or if we want the rule in symbol form, we would say x comma y and then the arrow. Now remember, I've mentioned several times, when you're writing out a rule in symbol form, you have to have this x comma y in parentheses and the arrow, because this shows we're taking all of our original x, y values and we are going to change them somehow. And the way we change them is we just flip the y and the x values. Okay, so the points just switch places. All right, so let's take a look at one example, and then I'm going to let you finish the rest on your own, and you can check your answers with me as you go. So for part A, we want to graph the following image using the given transformation, reflect over y equals x. So here's my line y equals x. I'm going to draw that in just so I have a visual. And I'm going to make figure out the coordinates for each of these points. Coordinate points need parentheses. That's the correct math notation, and if you don't have those, it's not completely correct. So D, we have -2, 4. Point E is 1, 1. Point R is -3, 2. And point G is -2, -3. And then our rule is to simply switch the x and y values. So for D prime, we're going to have 4, -2. E is going to stay the same, 1, 1, and this one's on our line. We could see it's on our red dotted line there. R prime is going to be 2, -3, and G prime is -3, -2. So let's go ahead and graph these. I'm going to pick a different color here. Let's pick orange. Okay, so D prime is 4, -2. So that's D prime. And make sure you always, always, always label your new figures, your images. E is the same place as E prime, so we'll just put E prime over here. R is 2, -3, R prime. And G prime is -3, -2, R prime. And we are going to connect this. There we go. And, oop, it missed a little bit. Did not quite know where my shape was. All right, let's try and turn this off. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty close. On your paper, it'll be easier. You could use a ruler or your ID card or something. All right, so that's going to be the end of this video. So go ahead and finish the other few pages of this, and when you have questions, you're probably going to have some questions. Make sure that you ask and get help with those. And just for fun, draw me your best stick figure at the bottom of this page, and we will see you in the next video.